Welcome back to Family Twist. This is our 2 days before Thanksgiving episode. So, welcome.
And we'll keep this brief because we know everybody is crazy busy this week. And so we just wanted to offer a brief moment of thanks from us at Family Twist. So, Kendall, thinking back to when Kendall was just a little tow haired boy, did you and Rubel and Betty have any special traditions?
Well, yeah, we did. I don't know if people remember this from other episodes, but my dad was a postal uh, mail carrier, and his normal work week was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. He liked working Saturdays. I think it was more money. And that was from the time I can remember, that's what his schedule was. So he would often take off Saturdays as his quote vacation days, and then he would have a nice 3 day weekend, right? So one thing I always remember is he had worked by the time I was born, he had worked for the Postal Service so long, he could get off on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So we were all, we as a family got to enjoy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday as a nice long weekend.
Yeah.
That always meant that we were going to hop from house to house from their friends' houses. And we would go to Joyce and JDG's house. Then we would, and when I say this, all of the couples are doing this together. The G's, Joyce and JD, who were childless. They would host one event over the weekend. My parents would host another party. Betty and Johnny, their other friends, the Paynes, they would host another party. And then Francis and Douglas Graham would host a fourth party. So it was always fun to go around all these houses. And that is kind of a Thanksgiving tradition that I remember for all the years that my mother was alive that we did. After she passed away, it changed. But for my formative years until I was up to 10 years old, we did that every year and it was a lot of
So, growing up, my mom and her sisters took turns hosting. Like one would host Thanksgiving, one would host Christmas. Then the following year, somebody else would host Thanksgiving and somebody else would host Christmas. So it was always like a nice potluck. And then when my grandparents moved back from California and Thanksgiving became grandma's holiday to host, which was always fun. They didn't have a huge house in Missouri, but we packed it to the gills with probably 30, 35 people. So tons of fun.
I
But
even got to go to one of those,
yes,
a few of those
yeah,
before,
before we moved. Yeah.
yeah, before he moved.
And then once we moved to San Francisco and bought our little 900 square foot townhouse in Alameda, California, which ended up being the largest home of any of our friends, we kind of hosted the Thanksgiving orphans for 5 or 6 years, I think.
For sure. We don't want to discredit Heather and Eric have a beautiful home in the Berkeley Hills, and we love going over there, but they didn't always host Thanksgiving. So even though their house was a little bit bigger, sometimes they would even come to ours, our townhouse with other friends, and we always had a blast.
Of course, because I made the best turkey.
Right.
So, since moving to New England, we're about to celebrate our seventh annual Thanksgiving with Kendall's brother, Chris, and his wife, Karen, and their three children, Shane, Mia, and Nolan, as well as Karen's brother, Matt, and his wife, Tanya, and their three kids,
Emma, Sophie, and Jack.
as well as Karen's mother, Joanne, who just happens to live next door. So the Clarks have been very gracious to host us. Actually, we hosted one time when we were living in Nashua and everybody came over, but otherwise, the Clarks host. Always a good time, lots of laughs, lots of silliness, and lots of begging from their sweet dog Clover, who would love to just take that turkey carcass and go to town. So we really just wanted to chime in, keep it brief for everyone this week because it's a crazy week for everyone. But we are so looking forward to 2025 Family Twist. We've got some surprises up our sleeves, some exciting stuff coming. We've got a couple of crossover episodes with our other podcast, Horror Heals. We're looking forward to doing that. And Yeah, it's been a blast. And we've got a milestone coming up here before the end of the year, but I don't want to spoil it quite yet. But let's just say tune in before the end of the year because I think it's going to happen.
Thanks, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.